Chapter 2460. You mean? Xiao Fei didn't expect Lu Yen to come up with such a crazy idea. That's right. Instead of running around the world, I'd rather go find my family. But aren't you afraid of bringing trouble to them? Especially your sister? I can't be afraid forever. You know that Ian is investigating now. I think it won't be long before he finds out about your sister. I'm afraid we can't hide it for long. It's better to face it directly than to live in fear. Even so, I still think you're too reckless. Xiao Fei, I'm afraid, what if? Lu Yen didn't finish her sentence. Xiao Fei walked over, took her hand, and put it to his lips. Don't think too much. You have me. He knew what Lu Yen wanted to say, but he wouldn't let her say something so pessimistic. As long as he was alive, he wouldn't let anything happen to Lu Yen. Hearing this, Lu Yen felt warmth in her heart. The more time she spent with Xiao Fei, the more she realized that he was a man of few words. But when it came to warmth, he was no worse than anyone else. In fact, he was even better at it. She wanted to say that she was afraid that she would be killed one day and wouldn't even be able to see her family for the last time. He met his father, his sister, and his mischievous nieces. But Xiao Fei didn't let her say it, so she felt that this man really cared about her. The two didn't have time to eat. They simply packed their luggage and left Mumbai in a hurry. Due to the chaos in India, the airport was absolutely safe. Xiao Fei and Lu Yen got an old pickup truck and drove through 3 cities. Then, they changed planes and flew away, shaking off their pursuers. In the headquarters of Indonesia, sir, they ran away. One of the soldiers reported in Indonesian. Bastard. The old Indonesian officer stood up and slammed the table in anger, cursing his subordinates. You bunch of idiots. You can't even catch a woman. Sir, she's not an ordinary woman. She's very powerful. Those assassins who went for the bounty all died in her hands. I don't want to listen to your explanation. Continue the hunt. Sir. When the soldier turned to leave, Ian walked in with his subordinate. Officer Merk, you're so angry. Ian smiled. Master Ian, you're here. The officer immediately greeted Ian politely when he saw him. How is it? I heard you have news about Lu Yen? Ian leaned against the sofa and asked casually. Yes, but they ran away. I sent a lot of people to Mumbai, but... At this point, the officer seemed to be ashamed. Don't be depressed. It's normal that you can't kill Lu Yen. If you could kill her so easily, you wouldn't be a top mercenary. Yes, Lord Ian is right. How about this? Stop sending your people and don't cause any more trouble. Leave Lu Yen to me. I want her alive. Master Ian wants to capture that woman as well? Yes, she is very useful to me. Ian smiled mysteriously. Okay, then I'll send her current whereabouts to you, sir. After saying that, the officer picked up a high-tech positioning device and handed it to Ian. According to our tracking, she and her partner have already taken a flight to Israel. They'll arrive in 5 hours. Partner? Oh, right, I almost forgot. That guy from the Xiao family left his family and is with her now, Ian said slowly as he rested his head on his hand. Sir, do you need us to set up a hunting operation in Israel? That's our territory, one of Ian's subordinates whispered in his ear. Chapter 2461. No need. I want Lu Yen alive, not dead, Ian said slowly. Sir, that woman bombed your branch. Don't you hate her? The Indonesian officer didn't understand why Ian was so merciful. She's probably the only person in the world who dares to go against me. If she dies, I'll be bored for the next 6 months. Ian placed his finger on his lips and kissed it. Then he revealed a bloodthirsty smile. He hadn't had enough of this game of cat and mouse because Lu Yen was too tenacious. She had lost her life to him many times, but in the end she came back from the brink of death and fought back. This made him more and more interested in her. South Side Recuperation Center. When it was time for the morning meeting, Director Wu brought a young man in with him, causing everyone to look over. Colleagues, this is Lu Zhe, a new doctor from the Department of Hepatobiliary and Pancreatic Surgery. Huamin was looking down at the documents, but when he heard the name, he looked up immediately. It's him. Huamin was surprised to see Lu Zhe. They had just met at the party and he didn't expect him to come so soon. He even went straight to President Wu. He was really something. Huamin. Director. Huamin heard President Wu call his name and slowly stood up. You're the vice director of South Side. Please take care of our new colleague. Dr. Lu is very good and has won many awards. Okay. Huamin nodded and didn't say anything else. Lu Zhe looked at Huamin and smiled gently. Please take care of me, Vice Director Hua. You're welcome, Dr. Lu. After the morning meeting, Huamin took the documents and walked to his office. Lu Zhe followed him. Hi, we meet again. He smiled. Yeah, what a coincidence. Huamin's tone was perfunctory. You don't think it's rude of me to do this, do you? Of course not. It's your right to choose where to work, Huamin said indifferently. That's good. I just came back from abroad, and there are many things that I don't know. As an old classmate, you have to take care of me. You're exaggerating. Everyone has a profession. Although I'm the vice president, I'm just a doctor. Don't think too highly of me. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. That won't happen. You're a genius. I've heard about all the things you've done in China. When you were an intern nurse, you performed a C-section on a pregnant woman. Even though you were sued, you still saved the mother and child. Later on, you even saved President Wu's niece's pregnancy. All in all, I've heard about all the amazing surgeries you performed. I really admire you. Lu Zhe looked at Huamin with slight admiration. Those are just rumors. Saving patients is what doctors should do. If you were in that situation, you would do the same. No, it's different. I know you're still that kind girl. I heard you're Professor Luo's student. How should I put it? You could say that. I owe Professor Luo a lot, Huamin said vaguely. What a coincidence. Professor Luo used to be my mentor. After I left the country, we kept in touch. I heard about you from him. At the time, I thought that many years later, you were still the same person. You're always the center of attention. Dr. Lu, it's time to go back to work. You should report to your department head now. Have a good day. Huamin didn't want to catch up with Lu Zhe at all. If he tried to curry favor with him, it would only make Huamin more cautious. Inside the office, Huamin thought for a while and called Jiang Xiaowei, who was back at the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Myung, what's up? Xiaowei knew that something must have happened if he called her at work. Xiaowei, help me investigate someone. Chapter 2462. Okay, what is it? Luze. Do you know where he lives? Jiang Xiaowei turned on her computer and entered the city bureau's system to search for information. I don't know. I think he moved a long time ago. Apparently his parents are abroad. How do we find out? There are many people with the name Lu Zhe. He used to study at Second High School. His father used to be a high official in the Ministry of Education. Huamin provided some useful information. Okay, wait a moment. A minute later, Jiang Xiaowei sent the information she found to Huamin's phone. Huamin was slightly disappointed after reading it. The information was simple and didn't seem suspicious. Just then, Jiang Xiaowei sent her a WeChat message. Mian, how was it? Did it help you? No, the information is too simple. I couldn't find anything. What's wrong with this guy? Did he offend you? Jiang Xiaowei asked again. No, I just think he's very suspicious. I want to find out what he's up to. Oh, I see. Why don't you talk to Qin Chu and ask him to investigate you through other channels? Maybe he'll find something, Jiang Xiaowei suggested. Okay, I'll talk to Mr. Qin later. Putting down his phone, Huamin fell into deep thought. Mr. Qin had a lot of things to deal with recently, and Lu Zhe didn't seem to have done anything inappropriate to her. She didn't want to think that this guy had ulterior motives, so she didn't want to tell Mr. Qin so that he wouldn't worry. Just then, her phone rang again. Huamin looked down and saw that it was Su Yu. Su Yu rarely called her, so Huamin picked up immediately. Me, where are you? At the hospital, South Side. Did you leave the house just now? Did you come to Anqing Road? Su Yu asked. No, I came to South Side this morning. I just finished a meeting. I see. Su Yu was deep in thought. What is it? Huamin asked nervously. Then I probably got the wrong person? Su Yu murmured in a low voice and hung up the phone. Huamin frowned slightly. Did Su Yu also see someone who looked like her? What was going on? At the entrance of a bank on Anqing Road, Su Yu and En drove to the bank. When they came out, they saw a girl whose side profile was very similar to Huamin. Most importantly, her temperament, clothes, and hairstyle were very similar. What the hell? I thought it was Mian, but she's still at South Side. Su Yu was confused. President Su, I think so too. Could it be that President Hua has a twin sister? Anne's imagination ran wild as he pondered. That's impossible. Huamin knows his own background. He shouldn't have a sister. Is it really a coincidence? What the hell? Good thing I didn't go up and say hi, or else it would have been so awkward. Then, Su Yu got into his Lamborghini. After Qin Chu, Su Yu was the second person who saw someone who looked like Huamin. Luckily, he was calm enough to call and ask first. At the entrance of a kindergarten, Hua Yanyan drove a white Porsche sports car to the entrance of the kindergarten to pick up her daughter. When she was told that her daughter had been picked up by someone, she froze. Then she felt that something was wrong. If Shen Mingxi had picked up her daughter, he would have told her. He wouldn't have done it secretly. How do you take care of your children? How can you just let someone pick up my daughter? Hua Yanyan was furious. Miss Hua, we didn't do it casually. The person who picked up Tian Tian was your older brother, the uncle of the child. He's a man of status, so my older brother? Hua Yanyan was dumbfounded when she heard this. Is it? Hua Xiqian? She asked in a trembling voice. Chapter 2463. Yes, it's Mr. Hua Xiqian. If he didn't tell us, we wouldn't have known that Tiantian's uncle is President Hua. Hua Yanyan didn't have time to listen to what the kindergarten teacher said. She turned around and ran. After she got into her car, she stepped on the gas and sped away. A few teachers who didn't know what was going on were still talking about it. I thought Tiantian's mother was a mistress or something. She's President Hua's sister. Yeah, no wonder she's so rich. She drives a Porsche and carries bags that cost more than 100,000 yuan. I heard that a young lady from GK is also from the Hua family. Maybe they're related. After Hua Yanyan got into her car, she immediately dialed Hua Xiqian's number. No one picked up. This made her even more anxious. At the Kempinski Hotel, Western restaurant, Tian Tian, is it good? Hua Xiqian was wearing a black tuxedo. He looked very gentlemanly as he sat beside Tian Tian. He ordered a lot of desserts, ice cream, and pizza for the child. Tian Tian was clearly enjoying the food. It's delicious. This is the best cake I've ever had. Thank you, too. Children were all innocent and didn't know about the grudges between adults. You're welcome. Eat more if it's delicious. Uncle, when is my mommy coming to pick me up? The little girl looked up and asked. No rush. Your mommy is busy right now and will probably come later. Uncle will accompany you. After we finish eating, let's go watch cartoons, okay? Do you like Bonnie Bears? I don't like it. That's outdated. I like to watch Peppa Pig now. I like to watch Polly the Transformed Police Car. Is it? Okay, then we'll watch whatever you like, okay? Hua Xiqian patiently coaxed the child. He lovingly patted her head. Uncle, you're the best. Hua Xiqian's phone vibrated. He took it out and looked at the caller ID coldly. Bitch, you're finally anxious. Who told you to make things difficult for me behind my back? Now it's your turn. What, are you scared? Hua Xiqian said to himself. He looked at Hua Yanyan's call but didn't pick it up. It was easy to find out where Hua Yanyan's daughter went to school, and it was even easier to pick her up. Hua Yanyan couldn't stay calm anymore. She wanted to call the police, but the police couldn't come in time. Someone like Hua Xiqian wouldn't be afraid of the police, right? What if something happened to Tian Tian? What would she do? Suddenly, a figure's person's appear on the side of suddenly appeared. Hers of this eight. Now, he had to resort to scamming. It was disgusting. When the man saw Hua Yanyan, he was surprised at first, but then he smiled proudly. Oh, isn't this my ex-wife? Even if you're an acquaintance, I'll give you a discount. Now that you're with a rich man, I'm sure you're very rich. 1 million yuan, transfer it to my card, and we're done here. Otherwise, don't blame me for not letting you leave today. My leg is injured, and even if the traffic police come, they won't be able to find any clues. It seemed that he had done this very carefully. Get out of my way, I'm going to save Tian. Hui Yanyan was in no mood to deal with this scumbag. Don't use the child as an excuse. I'm really in a hurry. Get out of my way. Hui Yanyan angrily turned back to her car and restarted it. Hui Yanyan, don't even think about leaving if you don't give me the money. Either you give me the money or you run over me. The scumbag wouldn't let go, trapping Hui Yanyan here. She was so angry that she lost her mind. She started the car and rushed towards the man with her eyes wide open. Hey, what are you doing? Do you really want to kill me? You're crazy. The man yelled in fear as he watched the car speeding towards him. Chapter 2464. Just as Hui Yanyan lost her mind and rushed over, the scumbag quickly dodged and was almost killed by the car. Crazy woman, you're fucking crazy, the man cursed behind her. Hui Yanyan drove away in her Porsche. If it weren't for the fact that she had to save the child today, she would have taught this man a lesson. After much consideration, Hui Yanyan decided to ask Shen Mingxi for help. After all, he was her man now. The Shen Corporation, Miss Hui, you're here. Shen Mingxi's secretary greeted her politely when she saw her. Is Mr. Shen here? He's in the small conference room. Should I inform him? Yes, please. I have something urgent to talk to him about. Hui Yanyan was very anxious. Okay, I'll inform him right away. After the secretary informed Hui Yanyan, Shen Mingxi left the client who was in the middle of a business meeting and walked out in a hurry. Yanyan, what's so urgent? I called you. Why did you turn off your phone? Hui Yanyan asked with tears in her eyes. My phone ran out of battery and I didn't have time to charge it. A client just came in. What's wrong? Shen Mingxi put his arm around Hui Yanyan's shoulder. He walked into the office and helped her sit down on the sofa. Mingxi, Tianan, was taken away by Wuxia. What? Shen Mingxi froze when he heard this. What should I do? Help me think of a way to save her. Did Wuxia find out about us and take revenge on me? I can't live without Tian. Please help me. Hui Yanyan lost her usual calmness and rationality and burst into tears. Yanyan, don't cry. What happened? Tell me slowly. Today, I went to pick her up from school. When I arrived, I didn't see her. I asked the teacher, but she said that she was taken away by someone who said that he was her uncle. You know, Wuxia is very good at disguising himself. The teachers must have thought that he was an entrepreneur with the same surname as me. They didn't suspect anything and let him take her away. I called Wuxia, but he didn't pick up. He did it on purpose. Do you think he'll kill Tian? Hui Yanyan's words came out intermittently. Shen Mingxi got the gist of what was going on from her sobbing. Wuxia is despicable. Shen Mingxi's brows furrowed. Mingxi, what should we do now? Should we call the police? Yanyan's, let's go. Shen Mingxi picked up his jacket and walked out. He pulled Hui Yanyan into the car. Then, he asked his men to investigate Wuxia's current location. In the end, they found out that Wuxia was having afternoon tea at the Kempinski Hotel. The two of them hurriedly drove to the hotel. As expected, Wuxia was sitting by the window, leisurely drinking tea. However, he was alone. There was no sign of Tian beside him. Wuxia, where is my daughter? Hui Yanyan walked over and asked agitatedly. What are you asking? How would I know where your daughter is? Wuxia laughed. Don't play dumb. The kindergarten teacher personally confirmed that you took my child away. If you don't hand her over, I'll call the police. Call the police? Ah, very good. Go ahead and call the police. Let's see if calling the police will work. Wuxia laughed mockingly. President Hu, even if there's a misunderstanding between you and Yanyan, you shouldn't have involved the child. As a man, I think you shouldn't be so despicable, Shen Mingxi said coldly as he looked at Wuxia. I'm despicable? You must be joking. President Shen, you're pretending to work with me and setting me up at the same time. Is that something to be proud of? Hua Xiqian raised his eyebrows and looked at Shenmingxi. Immediately, he and Hua Yanyan exchanged glances. It seemed that Hua Xiqian already knew everything. Hua Xiqian, what do you want? The child doesn't know anything. She's innocent. Don't go overboard, Hua Yanyan roared. Hua Yanyan, be a little more polite. Do you believe that I can turn your daughter into a corpse in the next second? Hua Xiqian said slowly. Chapter 2465. Durong. If it weren't for Mian, you wouldn't have gotten involved. There's no grudge between you and me, so don't think too highly of yourself. If it weren't for Mian, do you think I would have let you live after Hua Si died? You should thank her for being able to live to this day. But you, a woman who doesn't know the difference between life and death, come to seek death again. Hua Xiqian hated Hua Yanyan to the core. He hated her in the past, he hated her now, and he would continue to hate her in the future. Not only was she as arrogant and stupid as Hua Si, but she was also brainless. Therefore, the things she did were shameful. I really regret. I regret not. Hua Yanyan was about to bring it up when she realized it wasn't appropriate. Regret what? Regret that you didn't poison me with mo shui? Hua Xiqian raised his eyebrows. How did you know? Hua Yanyan felt a chill run down her spine. You're not even fit to carry Mian's shoes. Let me tell you, mo shui, every move is under my control. Although she thinks she's smart, she's better than you in that she's willing to risk her life. At the very least, she's not afraid of death. You, on the other hand, used someone else to do something you can't do yourself. You used your disgusting bunny face to trick this man into risking his life for you. How could you do that? A woman like you who treats love like a toy is destined to never find true love. This is your karma. Hua Yanyan wanted to say something, but at this moment, she couldn't refute. She didn't expect him to know about her secret deal with mo shui. Luckily, she didn't do anything to him, or else the consequences would have been unimaginable. Don't ever fight with me. I can make you wish you were dead. This was Hua Xiqian's advice to her and the man beside her. Ying, let's go find Hua Min. If he doesn't see Hua Yanyan, he won't let Tian go. Shenmingxi lowered his voice and whispered into Hua Yanyan's ear. Why aren't you going? If I change my mind, your daughter will become a mummy. Hua Xiqian sneered. Hua Yanyan clenched her fists and turned around to run. Shenmingxi followed behind her. Boss, Shenmingxi looked smart. Why is he willing to be used by Hua Yanyan? Hua Xiqian's subordinates felt sorry for young Master Shen. The difference between Shenmingxi and the other three is that they know what they want, but he never knows what he wants. When he married the Wei family, although he didn't want to, he compromised because of his family's influence. Later, when he saw Hua Yanyan was in dire straits, he sympathized with her and treated her well. Later, Hua Yanyan saw through him and used him. She lured him into quarreling with Wei Ying and breaking up with the Wei family. Then, naturally, he got together with Hua Yanyan. But that's not the scariest part. Hua Xiqian paused and continued. The scariest part is that Shenmingxi always thought that his affair with Hua Yanyan was love. Now that you mention it, boss, he's indeed different from Su Yu and the others. Of course they're different. Su Yu is very smart. Most importantly, he has good taste and can see all the good things about Hua Xiqian. Hua Xiqian smiled. Walking out of the hotel, Hua Yanyan was worried. She didn't know if Hua Min would help her if she begged Hua Min. After all, Hua Min hated her identity as a third party. Ever since she got together with Shenmingxi, Hua Min didn't seem to be as friendly to her as before. Chapter 2466. Southside Recuperation Center. Hua Min took off his black-rimmed glasses and white lab coat, ready to get off work. Chief, I'm leaving now. Drive slowly. Bye. After saying goodbye, Hua Min picked up his bag. Just as he was about to lock his office door, he saw Shenmingxi and Hua Yanyan walk in. Mia. Hua Yanyan opened her mouth, her eyes red and swollen. What's wrong? Are you here for a checkup? Hua Min was surprised. No, we're here for you, Shenmingxi said slowly. Then come in. Hua Min didn't lock his office door. He opened it again and led them in. Mian, Hua Xiqian kidnapped my daughter. You have to help me save her. Hua Yanyan grabbed Hua Min's hand emotionally, tears rolling down her cheeks again. Hua Xiqian kidnapped Tian Tian? What's going on? Hua Min was also confused. She poured 2 glasses of water for Shen Mingxi and Hua Yanyan. Then, Hua Yanyan told them what happened while crying. After hearing her story, Hua Min fell silent, his expression serious. Hua Min, I hope you can help Yanyan. Shen Mingxi only cared about Hua Yanyan and ignored Hua Min's difficulties. Young Master Shen, this is not that simple. First, let me ask you a question. Recently, did you do something to Hua Xiqian? From what I know of him, if he wanted to take revenge on Yanyan, he would have done it a long time ago. Unless, did you provoke him? Hua Min asked seriously. Shen Mingxi and Hua Yanyan looked at each other and nodded, not daring to hide anything. We did do something that made the Hua Corporation's stock market plunge. I thought he wouldn't know it was us. After all, he has so many enemies, Hua Yanyan said weakly. You want him to think it was Qin Chu who did it, right? Hua Min asked calmly. No, that's not what I was thinking. Hua Yanyan immediately waved her hand and explained. It's fine. It's normal for you to think that way. The whole world knows that Hua Xiqian's enemy is Qin Chu. So, no matter who did something to hurt the Hua Corporation, others might think it was Qin Chu who did it. But the point is, Hua Xiqian is not an ordinary person. He's not stupid. He'll definitely investigate. Whatever you did can't escape his eyes. I warned you that Hua Xiqian is not easy to deal with, but you didn't listen. You thought I was afraid of him, but what about now? You're also dumbfounded by what happened to your child, aren't you? Hua Yanyan didn't say anything. She just lowered her head and cried, listening to Hua Min scolding her. Shen Mingxi, on the other hand, had been defending Hua Yanyan, so he argued, Hua Min, now is not the time to blame Yanyan. Saving people is more important. Do you really think Hua Xiqian just wants to see me? Do you know that my husband arranged a lot of people to protect me, just in case I get kidnapped by Hua Xiqian one day? If I go see him, won't I be like a lamb in a tiger's den? He won't hurt you, right? Shen Mingxi froze. He didn't seem to know much about the relationship between Hua Xiqian and Hua Min. Yanyan, you should know better than anyone that Hua Xiqian won't hurt me. Hua Min glanced at Hua Yanyan coldly. I don't have a choice. Mian, I beg you. I can't lose my daughter. Hua Yanyan got up, knelt down and kowtowed to Hua Min. Shen Mingxi went to help her up. Yanyan, get up. What are you doing? Yanyan, you said it yourself. You can't lose your daughter. What about me? I'm also a mother. If something happens to me over there, what will happen to my 2 daughters? Hua Min asked word by word. He didn't feel good either. He knew that his words might sound too cold, but it was the truth. Chapter 2467. Hua Min, are you saying that you won't help me? Shen Mingxi seemed to be complaining. It's not that I don't want to help you, but I can't, Hua Min answered without hesitation. Get up, Yanyan. Let's go. No, Hua Min, I beg you. This is the last time, okay? Since I saved Little Bean and Little Bean's lives, please help me. Sure enough, Hua Yanyan finished her act and continued to play the kindness card. Seeing that Hua Min didn't speak, Hua Yanyan continued, I know you're a righteous person and look down on me. You've always thought that I was the third party who came between Mingxi and Wei Ying. Wei Ying is young Master Wei's sister and Dr. Zhang's sister-in-law. You've always been close to them, so it's normal that you don't like me. It's not that I don't like you, Yin. You have to have a conscience. It's not like that. Hua Min was surprised that Hua Yanyan could twist the truth and try to provoke her into going to Hua Xiqian. Although she did it for her daughter, Hua Min was still surprised that Hua Yanyan would do it. Forget it, Yanyan. So big. Not everyone knows how to be grateful. You saved her daughter, but she might not save yours. Not many women are as stupid and kind as you. Let's go. I'll fight Hua Xiqian to the death. I won't let anything happen to the kids. Shen Mingxi's words were harsh, as if all women in the world, except for Hua Yanyan, were evil and evil. Seeing Shen Mingxi drag Hua Yanyan out, Hua Min closed his eyes. Forget it. I promise you. Me, You're willing to help me? Hui Yanyan turned around abruptly, a hint of joy flashing in her eyes. Yes, I'll help you. This is the last time. Just as you said, you saved my daughter. Now it's my turn to repay you. That's not what I meant. I just wanted to save my daughter. You don't have to explain. I understand. Huamin turned and walked out, locking the office door behind him. I'm going to talk to Huasiqian now. You guys go home and wait for my news. He's a man of his word. I think the kids. And you'd better leave now. Don't let my husband know that you came to see me. If he knows, he won't let you get away. Then coldly Huaziz's Huamin turned. Hui Yenya sits titit he decia 8, s2s, titit chin chu aside, even Su Yu would be furious if he knew. The reason why Huamin was angry and didn't want to help Hui Yanyan was because he thought she was despicable. He had warned her not to mess with Huasiqian, but she didn't listen. Now that things had gotten out of hand, she had to clean up the mess. Hui Yanyan was indeed pitiful to have to take care of her child. But even the most pitiful villain was detestable. Hua Mian didn't sympathize with Hui Yanyan at all. Just as she said, she was helping Hui Yanyan one last time because she wanted to repay Hui Yanyan for letting Hui Yanyan go. Don't cry. If Hua Min goes, I'm sure Huasiqian will let her go. He comforted Hui Yanyan. The two walked out of Southside and drove away. When Hua Min came out, she called Huasiqian with her colleague's phone. Then, she drove to the hotel alone. She had a feeling that this meeting with Huasiqian wasn't as simple as it seemed. She had a feeling that something big was about to happen. As she drove, she felt uneasy. Chapter 2468. Inside the hotel lounge, Hui Yanyan's daughter sat on the sofa with a pink Peppa Pig doll in her hand. Uncle, when can I go home? So, when I'm done, I'll send someone to drive you home. Okay. Do you want to go home? Huasiqian sat down beside the little girl. If I don't go home, Mommy will worry about me, Tian said in a low voice. Is your mommy good to you? Huasiqian suddenly asked. Yes, she's good. It's just that sometimes when she's in a bad mood, she smashes a lot of things. I get scared. Does your dad come to see you? Dad came to see us a few times, but he always asked for money. Mommy said that Dad isn't a good person and that he'll get his retribution sooner or later. Uncle Shin is a good person. He's good to us and gives us money to spend. He buys us a lot of nice things. Your mommy taught you these things? Huasiqian was a bit surprised. Then he looked down on Hui Yanyan even more. How could she teach her child to hate? Such a young child had to distinguish between rich and good people. What kind of education was this? Why weren't the two cute kids in Mion's family like this? It seemed that children's reincarnation was really a skill. Uncle, are you not on good terms with my mommy? Tian raised her head with the doll in her arms and asked weakly. Why would you say that? Huasiqian smiled. Because I've never seen you before. Mommy must not be on good terms with you. The little girl's words made sense. Huasiqian was silent for a while and then smiled. Your mommy and I are not on good terms, but that has nothing to do with you. Also, don't be like your mom. You're still young. When you grow up, you have to learn to distinguish right from wrong. Tian was confused. Huasiqian was also a bit surprised that he was lecturing her. In fact, if she wasn't Hui Yanyan's child, he would really like Tian. This child was honest, obedient, and knew how to read people's faces. She wasn't naughty and didn't have princess syndrome. What a pity. Huasiqian was deep in thought when one of his subordinates walked over and said softly, Boss, Miss Hua is here. Tell me, which Miss Hui Yanyan? Huasiqian wanted to confirm if Hui Yanyan was back. It's Miss Mion. She's outside. All right, tell the kitchen to start cooking. All right. Tianan, I'll get someone to send you home now. All right, but? The little girl seemed to be hesitating. What's wrong? Huasiqian asked curiously. Uncle, can I take this toy with me? I really like this doll, and I want to bring it home. Is that okay? The little girl carefully looked at Huasiqian's expression and asked. Of course. That's great. Thank you, too. The little girl danced with joy when she heard that Huasiqian had agreed. Wang, drive her home. Just leave her at the security guard's office, Huo Xiqian instructed. Yes, boss. After settling Tian down, Huo Xiqian walked out and saw Huamin sitting there expressionlessly. Mian, you're here. Huo Xiqian's eyes were always filled with tenderness when he saw her. Where's Huo Yanyan's child? Since I'm here, shouldn't you let her go? Huamin ordered impolitely. She's on her way. Don't worry, I always keep my word. Huo Xiqian smiled. Mian, let me guess, how did Huo Yanyan convince you to come? Huo Xiqian smiled mysteriously. Chapter 2469. Huamin didn't say anything. Instead, he looked at him quietly. She's probably going to put on a pitiful act. She's going to cry about how I kidnapped her daughter and how I'm an asshole, right? Is she wrong? Huamin asked coldly. Then, when it comes to the emotional part, she might also kowtow to you and beg you to find me, right? Huamin bit his lip and didn't say anything. However, Huo Xiqian was right. Let me guess. If she still can't convince you in the end, she's going to use her trump card. If I remember correctly, she was the one who saved your twins when Huo Xi kidnapped them last time. So, she must be using this incident to convince you to repay her kindness, right? It seems like you know Huo Yanyan well. Huamin was impressed by Huo Xiqian's guesses. He was right. Huo Yanyan was crying, throwing a tantrum, and threatening to hang herself. She did everything she could. Huamin didn't want to, but he still came. Huamin was the most principled person. She was never a heartless person. Of course I know her. If you weren't close to her and always protected her, do you think I would have let her live until now after Huo Xi's death? She didn't know her place. Instead, she hooked up with that brainless guy from the Shen family. Then they teamed up and used petty tricks to deal with me. What an eyesore. So, you kidnapped her daughter to threaten her? Huamin glared at him. Isn't that the most direct and effective way? Huo Xiqian spread his hands, looking nonchalant. I hate your smug face the most. You think you're doing nothing wrong, but I've never approved of your methods. It's okay. I don't need your approval or understanding. It's okay. Huo Xiqian smiled. At this time, the waiters began to serve the dishes one after another. They were all seafood. Lobsters, abalones, crabs, phoenix-tailed prawns, scallops, everything, they're all very fresh. Eat them while they're hot. Huo Xiqian picked up the prawn and began to peel it. Then, he carefully handed the prawn to Huamin. Only Huamin could make Huo Xiqian spend so much effort to please him. Huo Xiqian, I'm not here today to eat with you. I'm here to repay Huo Yanyan's kindness. I know, he said. At that moment, Huamin's phone rang. It was a call from Huo Yanyan. She raised her hand to answer the call. Mian, the security office in our neighborhood called and said that the kids have gone home. Thank you so much. You're welcome. As long as the kids are fine. Huamin hung up the phone. Huamin stood up. Since there's nothing else, I'm leaving. Mian, aren't you going to sit down and have dinner with me? Huo Xiqian tried to persuade her to stay. You know how much I don't like you. Huamin turned around and looked at him calmly. Of course I know. But it doesn't affect my love for you. It's just like, all these years, I've watched you treat everyone well except for me. There's no point in talking about this. What do you want? Just be straightforward. You should know that if I go home late, Qin Chu will definitely come looking for me. Then, Huamin didn't continue. Huh? You think I'm afraid of him? Huo Xiqian laughed. You're not afraid, but he definitely won't let you go. If you've been living a comfortable life for too long and want some excitement, you can give it a try. I really like how you can stay rational at all times. Huo Xiqian looked at her with infatuation. Huamin didn't say anything. Mian, how about we make a bet? Huo Xiqian said with a smile as he peeled the crab's shell. Chapter 2470. What do you want to bet on? A lifetime of happiness. Huo Xiqian looked up abruptly and met Huamin's eyes. His eyes were filled with a light that she had never seen before. I don't really understand what you mean. Let's talk about the stakes first. Huamin didn't know what Huo Xiqian was up to, so she kept her guard up. If you lose, you'll have to go with me to the ends of the earth. If I lose, I'll give you my life and end it on my own. Upon hearing Hua Xiqian's words, Huamin was a little shocked. She didn't think that Hua Xiqian would make such a big bet this time. What do you want to bet on? Let's bet that you and Qin Chu can't withstand the test, okay? Hua Xiqian smiled meaningfully. Huamin felt a chill run down her spine when she saw his smile. Why should I bet with you? Don't you want to see if the man you said you loved your whole life will have a change of heart and can't withstand the test? He definitely won't. That's hard to say. So, do you want to bet with me? You don't have to provoke me, I won't fall for your tricks. I have absolute trust in Mr. Qin. You can't just provoke me with a few words. So, are you scared? My little sister Mion. What am I scared of? What do I have to be scared of? Huamin was a little annoyed and turned to look at Hua Xiqian. You're not sure either. That's why you're scared. You don't dare to bet with me. You're scared that you and Qin Chu can't withstand the test. Whatever you say, it's ridiculous. Either you tie me up and leave me here, or I'm leaving right now. I don't have time to talk nonsense with you. After speaking, Huamin walked out confidently. Boss, are we letting Miss Mion go just like that? One of his subordinates ran over and asked. He seemed to know that the boss was someone he had invited with great difficulty. How could he let him go so easily? Let her go. There's no hurry. Hua Xiqian sent a short video to Qin Chu's phone. With a ring, Qin Chu received a video call. When he opened it, his face slowly darkened. They couldn't hear anything, but they could see that Huamin and Hua Xiqian were sitting face to face. Hua Xiqian was still peeling the shrimp and handing it to Huamin. The image ended there. It only lasted for about 7 to 8 seconds. Daddy, what's wrong? Little Bean was watching TV on the side and saw that her daddy's face didn't look right. It's nothing. It's just a spam message. After Qin Chu said that, he closed his phone and didn't say anything else. Not long after, Huamin came home. Hello, babies. Mommy, you're home so late today. Are you working overtime at the hospital again? Little Bean asked. The hospital has been very busy lately. There are a lot of surgeries, Huamin explained randomly. You just had a surgery? Qin Chu asked casually. Huamin replied, not noticing anything. Nothing. Have you eaten? Huamin didn't have much of an appetite, so he lied. I'm going upstairs to take a shower. I'm so tired. After Huamin said that, he went upstairs. However, he didn't notice the subtle change on Qin Chu's face. 9 p.m. After Qin Chu finished dealing with company matters in the study, he returned to the bedroom. Huamin was already lying on the bed with a medical research book in his hand. You're done. Huamin rolled over and hugged Qin Chu's waist. Yeah. Honey, what's wrong with you today? You don't seem to be in a good mood. Seeing how worried Qin Chu was, Huamin couldn't help but ask. Honey, has Hua Xiqian been looking for you lately? Qin Chu asked casually. Chapter 2471. No, why do you ask? Huamin felt a little guilty when he said this. He didn't want Mr. Qin to worry, so he didn't dare to talk about what happened tonight. Plus, if he told the truth, Mr. Qin might go look for Shenmingxi and Hua Yanyan. Nothing, I'm just asking. Then, Qin Chu lay down and closed his eyes. You're sleeping so early? What time is it? Huamin laid on Qin Chu's chest and whined. Honey, I'm a little tired, let's sleep. Oh, all right then. Huamin knew he was asking for trouble, so he lay down beside Qin Chu, turned around, and closed his eyes. The atmosphere between the couple was a little weird, but they both had their own thoughts and didn't want to say it out loud. The truth was, sometimes misunderstandings were scary. If they couldn't be resolved, it would only get worse and worse. The next morning, when Huamin woke up for breakfast, he didn't see Qin Chu. Mrs. Qin woke up early and made dumplings for the twins with the maids in the kitchen. Mom, where's Chu? Huamin picked up a glass of milk and took a sip. Oh, he went to work. So early? Huamin was a little surprised. He said he had to go to the construction site first, so he left a little early. He also told me not to wake you up and let you sleep a little longer. Lady Qin smiled. Okay. After a simple breakfast, Huamin drove to South Side. However, just as he was about to reach South Side, the car broke down at a fork in the road. Embarrassed, Huamin forced the car into the emergency lane and was about to call the repair shop. Just as he was about to call the phone, he saw a flashy purple Ferrari parked by the side of the road. "What's wrong?" "Huamin, my car has a problem." Pointing to his car, Huamin said. "Let me have a look," Lu Zhe said as he walked over. "You know how to fix cars?" "A little." After that, he walked to the front of the car, lifted the hood, and checked the engine. "You have parts that need to be replaced. You should go to the 4S shop for repairs." "All right." Huamin then called the repair shop and got ready to flag down a taxi. "It's not that far away. Why are you still taking a taxi? Come on, we're all colleagues. I'll give you a ride." Lu Zhe smiled. Huamin was a little embarrassed, but he still got into his car. Because it was a supercar, there were only 2 seats. Huamin had no choice but to sit beside him in the front passenger seat. "Seat belt," he reminded her with a smile. Huamin put on his seatbelt, and the two of them headed to South Side. "To be honest, I didn't expect you to really become a doctor," Lu Zhe said. "That's always been my dream." "It's not surprising," Huamin replied as he looked out the window. "If Qin Chu didn't come back to find you, would you have married your university boyfriend?" Lu Zhe asked. "You seem to know a lot about me." Huamin looked at Lu Zhe cautiously. "If I told you that I've always been interested in you, would you believe me?" Lu Zhe's eyes were looking straight ahead, his hands on the steering wheel were white and slender. Lu Zhe didn't have Qin Chu's indifference and arrogance, nor did he have Su Yu's domineering shyness. He was more like a gentle and refined prince, gentle with a hint of elegance, easygoing with a hint of gentlemanly. After Huamin heard this, he only smiled faintly. "What are you smiling about? You don't believe me?" Lu Zhe tilted his head and looked at her. "No, I just wanted to say that if it wasn't for this class reunion, and if it wasn't for the class monitor reminding me so many times, I really wouldn't remember who you are." After Huamin finished speaking, Lu Zhe's expression changed. Chapter 2472. "Huh, sometimes the way you talk is really..." Lu Zhe smiled awkwardly. "You don't give people face, right? Or are you trying to act cool?" Huamin finished for him. "Not really, but Han Su is right. Your style is still the same as before, you're always so direct," Lu Zhe commented with a smile. "I'm a simple person. It's either black or white. That way, life isn't so tiring." "Yes, you're right. That way, life is indeed more carefree," Lu Zhe agreed. Huamin only smiled and didn't say anything else. "Huamin, are you and Qin Chu happy?" he suddenly asked. "Of course." "Then, you must love him a lot, right?" "Of course," Huamin answered firmly. "I'm so envious of Qin Chu. He has a wife who's so devoted to him." "You're wrong. I think more women envy me for having a husband who loves me more than his own life." Just then, the car slowly drove into the South Side parking lot. Huamin looked at his watch. "I'm running out of time. I have to go upstairs for a meeting. Thank you for giving me a ride." After speaking, Huamin hurriedly got out of the car and ran into the hospital lobby. Lu Zhe looked at the back of the car thoughtfully. His eyes became deep in thought. After the meeting, Huamin was about to return to his office when a nurse from the obstetrics and gynecology department rushed over. "Vice Director, we have an emergency in the obstetrics and gynecology department. Director Zhao asked me to come find you." The nurse was out of breath from running. "Speak slowly. What's going on?" "We had a patient come in last night. She saw red and wanted to deliver naturally. But it's been almost 10 hours since last night and her cervix still hasn't opened. Just keep waiting. These are all normal occurrences." "No, she's in so much pain that she's about to collapse. Director Zhao just checked her and found that the position of the child has changed. Now, every time the mother exerts force, the fetus will run to the left and won't go down at all. Director Zhao said that the position is wrong and it's a difficult labor. He's afraid that the mother is in danger." "Then what are we waiting for? Hurry up and perform the cesarean section." Huamin made a prompt decision. Chief Zhao said the same thing, but the pregnant woman's husband, mother-in-law, and eldest sister-in-law didn't agree to the surgery at all. They refused to sign the papers and scolded Chief Zhao for being an unscrupulous doctor who wanted to cheat them of their money. That's why they allowed the surgery. Ridiculous! How could there be such an ignorant family member? Huamin's face darkened. Yes, the situation is very urgent now. Seeing that the mother can't hold on any longer, we are all worried about the safety of the mother and the child, but her family is still determined to let her have a natural birth. We are in a stalemate and we really don't know what to do. Director Zhao asked me to come to you and ask you to think of a way. In this situation, should our hospital intervene or not? I'll go take a look. Huamin's face was cold as he handed the documents in his hand to Xianxia. Then, he hurried to the gynecology and obstetrics department with the nurse. This kind of situation was rare. After all, everyone had to pay attention to the safety of the mother and child. Not many people were so ignorant. However, there were all kinds of fish in the sea. Today, they might have encountered a weirdo. Chief Zhao was only a gynecologist, so she didn't dare to make such a decision. If she insisted on performing a cesarean section and the family members caused a scene, there would be a lot of trouble in the future. Paying a monetary penalty was the least of it. If she didn't handle it well, there would be complaints and her career would be over. If she didn't do anything and let the family members cause a scene, the mother and child's lives were in danger, and the family members wouldn't let it go. At the end of the day, no matter what she did, it seemed wrong. No one dared to take on such a hot potato. President Wu was out of town for a meeting, so she could only ask Huamin to solve this problem. When Huamin arrived, he directly pushed through the crowd and walked up to the bed to see the mother. "Hey, who are you? Why did you come in?" The mother's unruly mother-in-law looked at Huamin impolitely. Chapter 2473. This is Deputy Director Hua. He's also a very authoritative doctor, the nurse introduced. The old lady's expressions softened a little when she heard that Huamian was the deputy director. "Since he's the deputy director, hurry up and arrange for my daughter-in-law to enter the delivery room. Give birth to my grandson as soon as possible," the old lady ordered. Huamin ignored the old lady. He walked directly to the bed and glanced at the pregnant woman. The woman's face was pale, and she was sweating profusely. She didn't seem to be in a clear state of mind. The pain was probably too severe. Huamin reached out and touched her forehead. Fortunately, she didn't have a fever. He checked her heart rate and blood pressure and found that they were starting to rise. "Are you okay?" Huamin held the woman's hand and asked softly. The woman slowly opened her eyes and glanced at Huamin. Then, she nodded reluctantly. She seemed to be in so much pain that she couldn't speak. "You don't have to speak. Listen to me. Your situation is very dangerous. We've done a checkup on you and found that the position of the fetus has deviated. The ultrasound shows that the fetus is obviously too big. If you insist on a natural birth, your life will be in danger. Not only you, but the baby may also suffocate during the birth. So, we plan to do a C-section for you immediately. However, your family members won't sign the papers, so I'm going to ask you if you can put your fingerprint on it. If you agree, we'll do it immediately. If you insist on a natural birth, you'll have to bear the consequences later. It'll be too late for regrets. I'll give you a minute to think about it. If you agree, nod your head." Before the woman could say anything, her mother-in-law exploded. "What do you want to do? We've already said that we don't want surgery. You deceptive doctors and black-hearted hospitals just want to cheat us of our money. We all know that a natural birth only costs a few thousand, but a C-section can easily cost tens of thousands. You've scammed us all. You unscrupulous doctors, don't touch my daughter-in-law. We want a natural birth." In her current situation, it's not a natural birth. Her life will be in danger, Huamin explained. "Stop trying to scare us. I'll just say that your skills are not up to par. If you don't dare to do it, we'll immediately transfer to another hospital. We'll go to the first hospital to do it. You doctors, your medical skills are not up to par, and you still want to trick us. You're really wicked." Based on the current situation, both adults and children will be in danger if they are transferred to another hospital, Wang Lin continued. I don't believe your nonsense. Son, go call a taxi. Let's go. The old lady was very angry. She turned her head and looked at her son who was standing behind her. The man was about 1.8 meters tall, but he looked like a yes man. He didn't have any ideas and listened to his mother. He looked like a typical mommy's boy. Wang Lin ignored them and approached the woman again. Have you thought it through? You have to make a choice for the safety of you and your baby. Otherwise, your mother-in-law will transfer you to another hospital. If something happens to you along the way, even the gods won't be able to save you. Don't let your ignorance waste an innocent life. Perhaps Wang Lin's words made the pregnant woman waver. In the end, she nodded. Do you agree to the surgery? Wang Lin asked. The woman nodded again. Xiaolin, go get the surgery risk report. I'll ask the woman to sign it herself. Okay, Deputy Director. How dare you? If you do the surgery for us, I'll sue your hospital until you go bankrupt. I'm telling you. The ignorant old lady blocked the young nurse from getting the risk report. Xiaolong, go and inform Chief Zhao and the others to prepare for the surgery. I'll send the woman to the operating room now. Okay, Deputy Director. Why are you still standing there? Come and stop this woman. The old lady was also anxious. She yelled at her son behind her. The man seemed to have just woken up from a dream. He walked over and stopped Wang Lin, not letting her move. If you do this, your wife and child will die. Do you know that? Wang Lin questioned coldly. Chapter 2474. The man hesitated for a moment. Son, don't listen to this woman's nonsense. A C-section isn't good for my grandson. I gave birth to you before the C-section was done, and I was still healthy. Hospitals nowadays are really killing people. The old lady continued to nag. Wang Lin couldn't take it anymore. He pushed the man away and dragged the woman out of the room. What are you doing? Are you crazy? The old lady panicked when she saw Wang Lin's stubbornness. What are you looking at? Hit her. The old lady urged her son to hit Wang Lin. The man's eyes met with Wang Lin's and he immediately softened. If you dare to touch me, I promise you'll regret it for the rest of your life, Wang Lin said sternly. I feel sorry for your wife. She entrusted her happiness to a coward like you. Get out of the way. Don't stop me from saving people. Wang Lin pushed the man away forcefully. Then she and the nurse on standby pushed the mother's bed out of the room. Everything was done so quickly and cleanly. All the onlooking medical staff couldn't help but praise Wang Lin in their hearts. Hurry up and stop her. Are you crazy? The old lady began to beat her son and complained. Forget it. If Liping doesn't have surgery soon, she'll be in danger, the man finally said. You believe these bullshit doctors? The old lady roared. If you don't believe them, don't stay in the hospital when you're sick. You're so good, you should go home and recover. One of the doctors couldn't take it anymore and said to the old lady, Hey, how can you say that? What kind of person are you? The old lady seemed to be biting everyone she saw. No one was around to watch. I'm telling you, when that deputy director comes out, I'll sue her. I'll complain to her as much as I can, the old lady said angrily. Then hurry up and go. We'll see how our deputy director's husband kills you. A few nurses snickered and ran over. Vice director, just now, you were really domineering, a young nurse said excitedly. That's right. I didn't expect Department Director Hua, who usually looks so gentle, to be so powerful. It really made the mother and son blush with shame. This woman is lucky. Otherwise, if we didn't dare to do the surgery, we might have really killed both her and her son. I heard that when Department Director Hua was an intern nurse at the first hospital, she performed surgery on a pregnant woman without permission. At that time, she was even accused by the woman's family. I really didn't expect such a shameless person to repay kindness with ingratitude. But then again, the deputy director is really awesome. No wonder President Wu trusts her so much. She's really powerful. Yeah, that's why she has such a good husband. If I were a man, I would love a woman like her to death. Although she doesn't have the looks to cause the downfall of a country, she is really charming. Yeah. A few young nurses talked as they walked. When Lu Zhe came out of the cardiac surgery department, he heard the whole hospital talking about it. What's wrong? What kind of earth-shattering thing has our vice dean He done this time? Lu Zhe asked his assistant with a smile. Chapter 2475. Dr. Lu, you didn't see that wonderful scene just now? Our deputy director is so awesome. He single-handedly fought against an unreasonable and stupid mother and son and saved the life of a pregnant woman. Oh no, although the pregnant woman doesn't know the situation now, our team is confident in Deputy Director He's medical skills. We believe that the mother and child will be safe and sound. The assistant excitedly explained the situation to Lu Zhe. He immediately felt deep respect for Huamin. No wonder this woman was a legend at Southside. It seemed that she was indeed extraordinary. Excuse me, is Dr. Huamin here? Su Yu walked in wearing a white Versace suit with one hand in his pocket and asked at the door. Young Master Su, please wait a moment. The nurse in the lobby was so excited that her heart almost jumped out of her chest when she saw Su Yu. Su Yu had been hospitalized at Southside before and would occasionally visit Huamin, so all the nurses at Southside knew him. Especially his limited edition Lamborghini Sixth Element. It was so cool that no one had friends. After making a phone call, the nurse blushed and said, Vice Director Hua is having surgery in the OB/GYN department. She'll be out soon. Young Master Su, can you wait for a moment? Okay, I'll wait for her in the office. Then, Su Yu walked directly to Huamin's office. Vice Director Hua is so lucky. She's good friends with young Master Su. The nurse looked at Su Yu with infatuation. Outside the OB/GYN department. Dr. Hua, how's the mother? The nurses were very concerned about the mother's health. She's fine now. Thank goodness we saved her in time. Huamin took off her mask and let out a long sigh of relief. Where's my grandson? Is he okay? The old lady suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Huamin glanced at her and said coldly, Your daughter-in-law gave birth to a little princess. What? The old lady immediately raised her voice. It's a girl? The man was obviously surprised. It's a baby girl. 8 kilograms. She's white and fat. With this weight, it's impossible for your wife to give birth naturally. Fortunately, the surgery was done. After Huamin finished speaking, he walked tiredly to his office. The old lady and the man obviously didn't believe it. They wanted to rush in, but they were stopped. Family members, please wait for a moment. The mother will be out soon. We want to see the child. The old lady was very excited. The child will be out soon. Wait patiently. Huamin laughed in relief. To be honest, he knew that the old lady favored boys over girls and kept calling him her grandson. So when Huamin told her that it was a baby girl, he felt really good when he saw the stunned expression on her face. It was fine not to stay in such a family, but what was wrong with giving birth to a daughter? Were girls not good enough? If everyone gave birth to a boy, where would they find a wife? Was the whole world going to be gay? Thinking of this crazy idea, Huamin couldn't help but laugh. She laughed out loud. What's so funny? Lu Zhe popped out of nowhere, scaring Huamin. You, drink something. I just heard about your heroic deeds. Dr. Hua, you're really amazing. Lu Zhe handed over a bottle of Red Bull to Huamin to replenish his energy. But surprisingly, she didn't take it. She wouldn't easily drink a drink from a stranger, especially Lu Zhe, whom she suspected. Thank you, but it's not that I don't like drinks. Plain water suits me better. Just as Lu Zhe was about to say something, he saw Su Yu walking over from afar. Lu Zhe stopped immediately and stopped following Huamin. Mian, you're done with the surgery? Su Yu smiled gently. Lord Su, why are you so free today? Seeing Su Yu, Huamin was a little surprised. Chapter 2476. I'm not busy today, so I came to see you. Do you have time for lunch? Su Yu smiled. Right now. I have to see patients in the afternoon. How about we go to the cafeteria for lunch? Do you mind? Huamin smiled. I don't mind, it's your treat. Mr. Rich God, don't cheat me. I'm from a small family. I can't compare to a prince like you who spends money like water. Okay, stop teasing me. Let's go. Huamin and Suyu talked and laughed as they walked towards the hospital cafeteria. Huamian ignored Lu Zhe's presence and didn't even spare him a glance. Lu Zhe stared at Huamin and Suyu's backs with a complicated expression. Hey, Dr. Lu, you didn't go for lunch? Qin Jie came out of Huamin's office and saw Lu Zhe standing not far from the door. I wanted to go with Dr. Hua, but her friend came. Yeah, Mr. Su is a good friend of our director, Qin Jie said proudly. Really? Have they known each other for a long time? Lu Zhe asked tentatively. Yeah, a few years. Su Yu seems to be good to Dr. Hua? Lu Zhe said meaningfully. They're good friends, of course they're good friends. Mr. Su is good to all his friends, and he's also good friends with our director's husband, President Qin. Qin Jie explained to prevent gossip from spreading. Okay, I understand. Dr. Hua is a legendary woman. Lu Zhe smiled and walked away. Qin Jie tilted her head and curiously asked the other nurses to walk forward. Xiao Jie, did you notice? Why do I feel that this new Dr. Lu seems to be very interested in our director? Don't talk nonsense. The chief has a husband and a child. She doesn't like gossip. Qin Jie was a little annoyed. Oh, I'm not trying to smear the director's reputation. What I mean is, could it be that our director is too outstanding, so this new Dr. Lu admires her too? I heard that Dr. Lu's family is also very rich, and the car he drives is a limited edition Ferrari. He's the standard tall, rich, and handsome man. If only he likes me. The young nurse was infatuated. In the corner of the cafeteria, Huamin helped Su Yu get a big bowl of rice. I got you some eggplant with garlic sauce, sweet and sour fish, and stir-fried broccoli. Is that okay? Sure, I'm not picky. Su Yu smiled. It seemed like it had been a long time since the two of them ate face-to-face like this. Su Yu had been deliberately keeping a distance from Huamin. He was afraid that others would gossip and Qin Chu would misunderstand. Are you here to hang out, or are you here to see me? Huamian asked casually. I miss you, so I'm here to see you. Can't I? Su Yu said directly. Huamin was speechless, and his expression became very unnatural. Seeing this, Su Yu explained, Hey, I'm just kidding. Don't take it seriously. I'm so busy all day, how can I have time to miss you? Do you really think you're a fairy? When I have time, I go out and pick up girls. What's wrong? Is there a new situation? Huamin smiled. My old man always tries to introduce me, but none of those crooked melons and dates are good enough for me. Then what kind of girl are you looking for? Huamin asked as he ate. No matter what, I have to find a girl like Anne Hathaway. Su Yu said the name of a Hollywood superstar. Huamin almost burst out laughing. What are you laughing at? Su Yu scratched his head and looked very cute. Chapter 2477. Anne Hathaway? Excuse me, is she the actress who played the White Queen in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? Yeah, isn't she pretty? Your taste isn't good. Huamin couldn't help but laugh. Forget it, it's not the same as a country girl's taste. Su Yu waved her hand and deliberately teased Huamin. Okay, it's my honor to have lunch with you, Lord Su. Come, have some more braised pork. Huamin picked out the braised pork from his plate and put it on Su Yu's plate. Huamin didn't like fatty meat, so she usually put it in Qin Chu's bowl. So it had become a habit. She didn't think much of it, but Su Yu's heart was full of happiness. Looking at the braised pork that she picked up, for a moment, Su Yu couldn't bear to eat it. Why are you in a daze? You don't like fatty meat either? I like it. Su Yu lowered her head and ate the piece of meat in one big bite. I'm so tired today. It's been a long time since such an urgent situation. Focusing on the surgery is more tiring than working overtime for a week, Huamin complained. What are so many doctors in your hospital doing? You're already the deputy director, why do you still have to do this? I don't understand. Su Yu complained because she felt sorry for Huamin's work intensity. It's not like that. Today's situation was a little special. The other doctors didn't dare to take responsibility. Then, Huamin briefly told Su Yu what happened. Su Yu widened her eyes and looked at Huamin. What? What's with that look? You did something that no one else did. Are you a tiger? Su Yu glared at her. Ha. Su Yu's words made Huamin burst out laughing. You're still laughing? You should be more careful. Su Yu was speechless. As the deputy director, I have to do my best to save the patient's life. This is my responsibility. I can't say that I'm a doctor to save the dying and heal the injured. In fact, I'm not that great of a person, but I absolutely can't watch the patient die in front of me. I won't allow such a thing to happen. As for other things, I really don't think too much about it. What if her husband hits you? Silly girl. Su Yu was still scared. What if Huamin was beaten up by such an unreasonable mother and son? After all, she was a weak woman. I'm not that weak, okay? Although I'm different from Ning Ning and the others and I don't know Taekwondo, I still have anesthetics on me. If they push me too far, I'll give them acupuncture. Plus, this is South Side, my territory. My colleagues won't let me suffer, so don't make a fuss. Damn it. I really think you're risking your life by doing this job. Su Yu was unhappy. Okay, let's not talk about this. Do you want some soup? I'll go get you a bowl. No, I'm full. Right. I came here today to give you something. Where is it? It's in your office. What is it? Huamin froze. Grandpa brought it back from Jing City. He said it's the most advanced remote-controlled robot. It can sing, dance, chat, play games, and even fight. It's so fun. I heard it's a technology company that hasn't started selling it yet. When Grandpa went abroad for a visit, they gave it to him. Grandpa was even funnier. He thought it was interesting and asked me to give it to the twins. Lord Su is so nice. Thank him for me. He likes the twins. You're welcome. Su Yu, I actually want to tell you something and... Can you not be angry when you hear it? Huamin stammered. Tell me first. I'll decide if I'm angry or not. Su Yu smiled. Chapter 2478. Now that you mention it, I don't dare to say anything. Huamin looked at Su Yu, who was smiling so innocently, and suddenly didn't dare to say anything. Oh, just say it. I won't get mad at you. In fact, Su Yu was thinking, when did I ever get mad at you? Really? I'm not well educated. Don't lie to me. Huamin didn't seem to believe him. Really? Say it. Hurry up. Su Yu's impatience rose and he began to urge him. Here's the thing. At Southside, there are actually a lot of good single girls. There are straight-A students with high academic qualifications, beautiful goddesses, extremely intelligent Lolas, and those with good family backgrounds. I did a comparison. There's an outstanding female anesthesiologist in the anesthesiology department. She's new here not long ago. Apparently, her family background is good and she's very hardworking. Most importantly, she has the face of a celebrity, very much like that celebrity Lu Yifei. She's very beautiful, pure, and otherworldly. A lot of male doctors in the hospital are chasing after her, but she rejected them all. I guess she's a girl with character, so I want to ask you, do you want to get to know her? Huamin worriedly finished the story, and Su Yu immediately understood. Huamin was going to introduce him to a girl. This day finally came. Hearing this, Su Yu didn't say anything. He lowered his head and ate slowly. Huamin became even more nervous. When he saw Su Yu, he suddenly remembered what Little Bean said before. She thought that if it was for Su Yu's good, he shouldn't keep him single. If there were any good girls, he should introduce them to him. But with Su Yu's temper, he wouldn't hesitate. She was afraid that he would get mad at her, so she stuttered and told him her purpose. You're not mad, are you? Huamin asked anxiously. Su Yu picked up a tissue and elegantly wiped his mouth. Then he looked up at Huamin. Why should I be angry? Do you think I'm so petty? No, that's not it. I'm just afraid that you'll think too much and think that what do you think of me? Continue. Su Yu looked at Huamin. Huamin felt even more awkward. I was afraid that you would think that I was meddling in other people's business. Meddling? How could that be? You didn't. You're doing this for my sake. You took the initiative to introduce girls to me. Isn't that great? For some reason, Huamin felt an inexplicable sadness in his heart when he heard Su Yu's words. Su Yu, but Mian, are you sure such a nice girl isn't gay? Su Yu suddenly asked. Huamin didn't know what to say. Why are you so serious? I was just joking. Su Yu laughed. I'm really doing this for your own good. Huamin anxiously tried to explain. You don't have to explain. I've known you for a long time and know you very well. I know that you wouldn't do anything to hurt me, Su Yu said with a serious expression. Huamin immediately nodded. Yes, I'm glad that you think so. Nie Lingxian came to you before, right? Su Yu asked. You mean Cici's sister? She is actually quite nice. At least, I don't think she's the same type of person as Zhao Qingya, Jian Tong, or Mo Shui, Huamin commented objectively. Even so, I still don't like her. I know. That's why I wanted to ask you if you want to meet the girls in our hospital, Huamin said word by word. Mian, if I say yes, will you be happy? Su Yu asked her affectionately. Chapter 2479. Huamin didn't know what to say. You don't have to say anything else, just tell me if you're happy or not, Su Yu asked. Of course I'm happy for you. I feel the same way as Lord Su, Pudding, Mr. Su, and Mrs. Su. You can't be alone forever. Huamin said slowly. If you're happy, I promise you. Huamin was surprised to see Su Yu being so agreeable. I promise you. You can arrange a time to meet and let me know. Thank you for lunch, Mian. Rest well and take care of yourself. Then, Su Yu got up and left. After he left, Huamin came back to her senses. She suddenly felt that Su Yu was a little sad today. Wasn't it too cruel for him to do this? Huamin thought to herself. After a busy afternoon, it was time to get off work. Huamin's car was sent for maintenance, so she didn't have a car to drive. Dr. Hua, let me drive you. I know you live in South Hill Manor. Although it's not on my way, I can drive you to Wanshi Road. You can take the subway yourself. It'll be more convenient. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in traffic during rush hour. Lu Zhe parked his flashy purple Ferrari in front of Huamin, attracting a lot of attention. It's okay. Thank you, Dr. Lu. I've already called my husband. He'll come pick me up. If that's the case, all right then. Then Lu Zhe drove away. Only then did Huamian slowly take out her phone. In fact, she had lied just now. She hadn't called Mr. Qin. She took out her phone and called Qin Chu's phone, but it was turned off. She guessed it was out of battery. Then, she called the company's landline. A young lady. Assistant Yang picked up the phone. Where's my husband? Chairman Qin is working overtime in a meeting. There's a problem with the project, so the partners sent someone to discuss with Chairman Qin how to solve it. What happened? Is it serious? Huamin's heart was in his throat again. It's not serious. It's just a problem with the ratio. There was a slight mistake, but Boss Qin wants it to be perfect, so he pointed it out very seriously. That's good. A young lady, what's the matter? President Qin's phone is charging. Do you want me to take it to him? That won't be necessary. I don't have anything to do. Let him be. Don't disturb him. Okay, a young lady. After hanging up the phone, Huamin touched the tip of his nose. It seemed that he really had to take a taxi home today. With this thought in mind, he casually flagged down 1 or 2 taxis. Then, just as Lu Zhe said, it was really congested. Everywhere was congested, probably because of the weather. Once it snowed in the north, traffic would be paralyzed immediately because the roads were too slippery. City had about 5 months of winter in a year, so the cycle of snow was relatively long. Miss, it's too congested here. Can I take a detour for you? It's probably only a few dozen yuan, and you don't look like someone who needs money. If you agree, I'll take you through some alleys. If you don't agree, we'll wait here. Don't worry. The taxi driver was an impatient person. Even in a traffic jam, he was sweating profusely. Sure, you can take a detour. Huamin was also in a hurry to go home. Who would want to wait here in snowy weather? Therefore, he and the driver took a detour through a few alleys and took another road. But to his surprise, when he passed by a secluded path, Huamin saw someone familiar. "Driver, can you stop here for a second?" Huamin said. Chapter 2480. The taxi driver stepped on the brakes and stopped by the side of the road. Huamin took out 100 yuan and tossed it to the driver. He didn't even give the driver the change before he hurriedly got out of the car. In the snow, Huamin stood in front of a rundown car repair shop. He looked at the familiar man who was repairing someone's car. "Hurry up, mister. I'm in a hurry." "Okay, I'll be right there." Huamin stood there. If he didn't see it with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed that he would one day end up like this. Huamin bit his lips and forced himself to speak, "Wei Dong." Wei Dong heard someone call his name and subconsciously stood up. The moment he saw Huamin, his expression changed. Then he smiled awkwardly. "Huaminu, why are you here?" "I was passing by and saw you, so I came down to take a look." "It's cold outside. Don't just stand there. Come in and talk." Wei Dong was quite enthusiastic. He invited Huamin in. Actually, the inside of this rundown car repair shop wasn't much warmer than the outside. Seeing Wei Dong like this, Huamin couldn't help but feel a little sad. Although he had heard about Wei Dong's tragic ending during the class reunion, he didn't expect to see it with his own eyes. He still felt sad. "Wait for me, I'll finish fixing this." Huamin nodded. Then, he held the Chanel bag and stood to the side, quietly waiting for him. About 10 minutes later, Wei Dong finished fixing the car. After he received the money, he sent the car owner away. Then, he rushed into the bathroom to wash his hands before coming out. He was wearing old blue work clothes. Compared to his old self who wore branded clothes, it was like heaven and earth. It was also the biggest irony. "I didn't expect you to find me here," Wei Dong joked. "Wei Dong, aren't you selling cars at a 4S shop? How could it be?" Huamin was a little embarrassed to be too direct. "I did sell cars, but the economy is in a slump recently, and the price ratio is low. Our sales aren't good either, and the money I make isn't enough to sustain my life. After my father and uncle got into trouble, all of my family's assets were taken back. My mother suffered a huge blow and fell ill. Now, she needs a lot of medical fees every day. I can only get 5,000 or 6,000 yuan a month from selling cars. We still have to rent a place to eat, and it's not enough. So, I rented this place and come here after work to repair cars." Wei Dong's words were very sincere, and the look in his eyes was also incomparably sincere. There was no longer the arrogance from before. "Did you just get off work?" Wei Dong looked at Huamin. Huamin nodded. "Yeah, there was a traffic jam, so the taxi driver took a shortcut. That's how I saw you. Then are you in a hurry? If you're not, I'll treat you to a meal. It's rare for old classmates to meet," Wei Dong offered. "Sure." When Wei Dong was rich, he didn't even have the chance to eat with Huamin alone. Now that he was in dire straits, he casually offered. He didn't expect Huamin to agree. This surprised him. "What do you want to eat?" Wei Dong asked. Huamin glanced at the snack bar across the street and finally said, "Let's have some noodles. I haven't eaten that in a long time." "Okay, that place is pretty good." Just like that, Wei Dong took Huamin to a very small noodle shop across the street. The two ordered 2 bowls of noodles and a few side dishes. Wei Dong looked at Huamin with a myriad of emotions in his heart. Today, Huamin's net worth was probably over 10 billion yuan. He was a big shot in the upper class. As the vice director of Southside, a top hospital, and the CEO of a large corporation, his good friends were all either rich or powerful. Even someone like Su Yu, who was unapproachable by others, was a very good friend of Huamin's. Wei Dong felt that this kind of Huamin, even sitting in front of him, was so far away that he couldn't reach him. "I heard that you went to a class reunion a while ago. How was it? Was it lively?" Wei Dong took the initiative to pour a cup of hot tea for Huamin and then casually asked. Chapter 2481. Yes, I did. But it was boring, so I won't go again, Huamin said faintly with her head lowered. Oh really? Everyone must be talking about me. I'm in this state now. It's my own doing. Wei Dong could roughly imagine how his so-called classmates talked about him. How tiring would it be to live in the mouths of others? Don't worry too much about it, Huamin comforted him. At this time, the boss served 2 bowls of piping hot noodles. On a snowy day like this, the noodles looked especially appetizing. Huamin did not have any burden of being a goddess, so when she ate, she never hesitated. Instead, she picked up her chopsticks. She lowered her head and took big bites of the noodles. It was as if watching her eat was delicious. Wei Dong was first stunned, then he quietly watched Huamin. This was a scene he never dared to dream of. What are you looking at? Hurry up and eat. It's going to get cold soon, Huamin reminded him. Yes. The two did not speak for a few minutes. They only cared about eating. Wei Dong's table manners were especially comical. He even drank the soup one mouthful at a time. It was a very down-to-earth scene. Right now, is your mother doing well? What's her illness? Is it serious? She's okay, but it's not very optimistic. She was hospitalized at the first hospital and had surgery. She still needs to take care of her body. Most importantly, it's heart failure. Oh, I see. Don't be too sad. Take good care of her. Everything will be fine. Yeah, I'm fine. It's not like it's just a day or two ago. I wasn't used to it at first, but now I've accepted it. Huh, isn't there a poisonous chicken soup joke that's trending on the internet recently? It says that when God closes a door on you, don't despair, because he might let another dog in. Wei Dong laughed. Huamin also laughed. Yes, there's also a joke that says, if you're not happy today, don't be sad, don't be depressed. Cheer up, because you'll realize that tomorrow might not be as good as today. Wei Dong chuckled when he heard that. I didn't expect you to have such a funny side. Wei Dong was already like this, so there was no need for him to pretend. Even his smile was much more sincere than before. I've always been a joker. You didn't know before because you didn't understand me. Huamin laughed. Yeah, the one who knows you the best is Qin Chu. He's really lucky to have you. Luckily he told me to back off. Otherwise, I would have thought that I was really something and wanted to marry you. I'm really a toad that wants to eat swan meat. I'm not a swan. At most, I'm an ugly duckling, Huamin mocked himself. The ugly duckling turned into a white swan in the end. What a perfect example of a comeback. Wei Dong teased. No, the ugly duckling turned into a white swan because its parents were originally swans. It has good genes, and it has nothing to do with turning the tides. Fine. You're trying to feed me poisonous chicken soup again, right? Sometimes life is like this. What you need isn't necessarily chicken soup. Maybe you just need a slap. So, Wei Dong, look on the bright side. There are bound to be ups and downs in life, but life goes on. Life is full of ups and downs. Yes, I've thought it through. Your fiancée, that's normal. She was with me because of money. It's expected that she would leave when I went bankrupt. I don't blame her. Wei Dong smiled like a man. What are your plans in the future? Huamin looked at Wei Dong seriously and asked. Chapter 2482. In the future. But to be honest, I didn't think too much about it. In my current state, there's no point in thinking about it. Wei Dong laughed self-deprecatingly. Huamin nodded and didn't say anything else. He looked down at his watch and saw that it was almost time. There's probably no traffic now. I'm going to go now. Wei Dong nodded. Seeing Huamin stand up, Wei Dong suddenly remembered something and said, By the way, Huamin, I know. I won't tell my classmates that you're opening a car repair shop here. Huamin thought that Wei Dong was afraid that his address would be leaked. No, I heard from Han Su that Lu Zhe came back from the class reunion? Wei Dong asked. Be careful of that guy. He's not as simple as he looks. I know. Thank you. Regardless, he still thanked Wei Dong for the reminder. Not long after Huamin left, a female bank employee came over. Hello, are you Mr. Wei Dong? I am. And you are? Wei Dong looked at the strangers in front of him in confusion. I'm Miss Hua Mian's personal wealth manager at the bank. Miss Hua asked me to help you with some financial matters. Financial matters? Wei Dong was even more confused. Let me put it simply. Miss Hua is willing to lend you 5 million yuan from her personal account. She also told me that she won't charge you any interest. She doesn't want you to feel pressured when you start your business. You just have to pay back the principal when you make money. After hearing this, Wei Dong was greatly shocked. Huamin, Miss Hua doesn't think it's appropriate to tell you this in person. She's afraid that you'll overthink, so she sent me here. Mr. Wei, do you have our bank account? After you sign this document, I'll immediately transfer the money to you via mobile banking. You'll be able to use the funds. How much did you say? 5 million? Wei Dong asked, dumbfounded. Yes, Mr. Wei, you're so lucky to be Miss Hua's friend. Miss Hua has always kept a low profile and rarely flaunts her wealth. However, since she's willing to help you, it proves that you're worthy of her help. It's getting late, let's get started. Just like that, Wei Dong, who was still in a daze, received the 5 million yuan that Huamin lent him. Perhaps in the past, Wei Dong would not have cared about 5 million yuan. At that time, he was doing very well. But now, not to mention 5 million, even 50,000 yuan was not a small sum to him. Therefore, when Wei Dong received this sum of money, he only felt that it was heavy. Back then, he wanted to take advantage of Huamin's relationship with Qin Chu and Hua Xiqian to borrow a huge sum of money. He also wanted to take care of some personal matters, but Huamin rejected him. Later on, when he was drunk, he even complained in the group chat that Huamin was rich now, and dogs loved and cared for him. In the end, he was scolded by Zhu Lingling. Later on, his family went bankrupt, and he saw through the fickleness of human nature. He returned to his primitive state and started from the bottom of society. Only then did he realize who his friends were. The truth was, after Wei Dong's accident, he did not have a single trustworthy friend by his side. None of his classmates, including Han Su, lent him a single cent. As the saying goes, a single cent stumps a hero. However, under these circumstances, he still did not want to borrow money from Huamin because he knew that he would be rejected. However, today, when he sincerely treated Huamin to a bowl of knife-shaved noodles, she actually lent him 5 million yuan without any interest. Huamin's actions shocked Wei Dong once again. She was never one to add flowers to a brocade, but she was willing to help Wei Dong in his hour of need. When Wei Dong was in poverty, she gave him a helping hand. Huamin's actions were admirable. After Huamin returned home for dinner, he was about to go downstairs to play with his daughters when he received a call from Wei Dong. Huamin, he said solemnly. Chapter 2483. Huamin, I got the money. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. I'm not giving it to you for free. I'm lending it to you. You have to pay me back. If Wei Dong really didn't want to take it, he had to keep his dignity as a man. I know. Anyway, thank you. I'll do my best to pay you back. Okay. After hanging up, Huamin and the twins were eating fruit in the living room. Mama Qin and Mr. Qin were drinking tea with their old friends. Mr. Qin was working overtime and hadn't come home yet. The twins were playing with the high-tech robot that Su Yu sent to Southside today. Even Pudding, who was young and mature, found this thing very novel. She kept studying the buttons and functions on the remote control. Great-grandpa is so nice. He's thinking of us. Little Bean was overjoyed. Of course. Mommy said that when we were just a few months old, Great-grandpa fought with Lord Su to hold us. He's such a cute old man. But sis, have you noticed that handsome Su has fallen out of favor ever since we came to this world? Little Bean looked at her sister. Handsome Su is an adult. He won't care about these small details. Oh, right. If Handsome Su wanted to get us toys, could he have sent them to our house? Why did he send them to Southside for Mommy? Little Bean suddenly started gossiping. Don't blame him. It's hard for him to find an excuse to see Mommy. Pudding looked like she understood. Huamian coughed violently. Ahem, don't talk nonsense. Your Uncle Su came to Southside to do a physical examination and give me the stuff. Hey, we're just joking. Mommy, don't take it so seriously. Little Bean looked at her mother's embarrassed face and smiled mischievously. To be honest, Mommy, if Daddy didn't come back, would you really be able to stay chaste and reject Suyu's love? Little Bean continued to tease her mother. Little Bean, when your daddy comes back, you can ask him the same question again. Huamin smiled. Daddy will get mad. Little Bean immediately shut up when she heard Huamian mention her father. The two brats were really troublesome. In fact, Suyu had sent the things to Southside and even had a meal with her. She didn't think it was necessary to go through so much trouble. She could directly bring the children to the Su family's villa or South Hill Manor. However, Suyu didn't do that. He wanted to hide his little secret, but it would still be seen by everyone. Huamin sometimes felt that Suyu was a smart person, but sometimes he was so silly that he was cute. At this moment, Qin Chu opened the door and returned. Hubby, have you come back from the construction site? Huamin asked. Have you eaten? Yes, I ate with a client. Huamin stood up. You've worked hard. Shall I make you a cup of coffee? There's no need. Honey, take a seat. I'll go to the study. There are still some drawings that I haven't finished editing. I'll go take a look. Mr. Qin took the folder and went upstairs. Mommy, what's wrong with you and Daddy recently? Did you guys fight? Pudding turned around and asked carefully. Then why do you guys look like you're in a Cold War? Pudding didn't believe it. Cold War? You're thinking too much. Maybe we've been too busy recently and haven't had time to talk about love. Huamin sighed slightly. Mommy, you can't let your guard down. You have to hold on to Daddy tightly. Otherwise, another woman might take advantage of the situation. Pudding instilled a sense of crisis into her mommy. Okay, my little princess. You two go have fun. Children shouldn't get involved in adult matters. Just then, Huamin received a WeChat voice message. It was from Cici. Min, are you free? I want to talk to you. Cici's voice sounded like she was about to cry. Huamin's heart skipped a beat when he heard this. Chapter 2484. Tell me, Cici. I think it was a mistake for me to come to the States. Cici's voice was choked with sobs. Calm down, Cici. Tell me slowly. What happened? Cici's stay in New Orleans had always been a worry for Huamin. He had seen Luna before, so he was worried that Cici would be in trouble if she went there. Plus, after Rick took over the family business, he had a lot of things to deal with. He didn't have much time to spend with her. Dreams were full, but reality was harsh. Before Cici went there, she thought everything was perfect. But after she went there, she realized that things weren't as easy as she thought. I'm in a bad situation right now. Cici, what's wrong? Did you have a fight with Rick? Huamin thought that although Rick didn't talk much, it was impossible for him to have a change of heart or abandon her. Unless they didn't communicate well, it was normal for them to have some conflicts and arguments. No, Rick is very, very good to me. He's very, very good to me. Cici corrected him. Then why are you so depressed? Huamin held his phone and quietly sent a WeChat message to Cici. I think I'm a burden to Rick. Cici's voice was full of guilt. Before Huamin could speak, Cici continued. Mian, I used to think about Rick's mafia identity, and I didn't mind. But when I saw him kill people with my own eyes and when I was on the run with him, I realized that this kind of life is terrifying. So, you want to back out? Huamin asked her. No, that's not it. I just want to take Rick and jump out of this circle. I want to leave this life of living on the edge of a knife and live a normal life. Cici, don't be so naive. That's impossible. Cici was silent for a long time. Mr. Qin and I have been to New Orleans before and we've seen Rick's lifestyle. He's not someone who can give up easily. He has so many enemies and gangsters working with him. If he quits, it's hard to say whether he'll survive or not. Cici, everyone has the right to choose their own life. If you really don't like this kind of life, either you leave Rick or you have to face it with him. Mion, am I too weak? Cece asked in a low voice. For a girl who knows nothing, what you're doing is very brave. Mion, I'm not afraid of death, but I'm afraid of Rick dying. It's a contradiction, isn't? He's so young, I don't want him to live such a life. Cece, have you seen Luna? Is it the woman who claims to be Rick's fiancée? Cece asked. Not long after we came back, that woman came and tried to show off, but Rick kicked her out. Then she went to find her father, who wanted to kill me. When Rick found out, he was furious and turned against him. They fought, and not only did they end up cooperating with him, but Luna's father was also injured. Now, that family is Rick's enemy. That's why I said that I'm a burden to Rick. People here don't like me because they think I brought bad luck to Rick. If he was with Luna, it would be better. Not only can't I help him, but I'm also causing trouble for him. So, Mion, what should I do? I'm so sad. With that, Cece began to sob again. Min could tell that Cece was depressed. Otherwise, she wouldn't be crying on WeChat. Chapter 2485. Cece, don't think that way about yourself. When I was with Mr. Chin, there were so many people who objected, but in the end, I insisted. Don't give up. As long as you think he's worth your love, don't give up. It's not easy to meet someone who loves you and who loves you back. Rick may not know how to express his feelings, but I can see that he cares about you. It's not easy for you two to get to where you are today. Don't give up so easily. Sister Mion, I'm not giving up. I'm not even afraid of death. How could I give up? I'm just afraid. I'm afraid that I'm really a jinx and that I'll drag Rick down with me. Don't care about other people's opinions. It'll be hard for you to live in their mouths. Listen to me and feel with your heart. Rick's family background is very complicated. He's had a lot of hatred since he was a child, and his parents didn't give him much love. After his parents passed away and his brother got into an accident, you're his only family in the world. Yes, I won't leave him. I have to be by his side, no matter how hard it is. Cece seemed to have made up her mind. You have to take care of yourself. Luna seems to be a very vengeful woman. You have to be careful. Min rarely misjudged people, so he always told Cece to be careful of Luna. I will. Rick has sent people to protect me. She can't do anything. That's good, Sister Mion. I feel much better after talking to you. Thank you. You're welcome. If you're unhappy in the future, feel free to talk to me. I don't want to disturb your work. Even if I'm busy, I still have time to chat with you. Min smiled. By the way, Sister Mion, did my sister talk to you? Cece asked hesitantly. She told you? Yeah, she called one day and mentioned it. My sister and President Su. Forget it, I don't want to care about her. She's too stubborn. But I know President Su won't like my sister, and he won't even like other women. She shouldn't ask for trouble. When it comes to love, no one else can do it for you. Your sister is a nice girl, but I can't set her up with me. Min didn't want to create more problems for Suyu. After meeting Suyu in the hospital, Min didn't like what Suyu had said. Therefore, he didn't plan to introduce a girlfriend to Suyu shamelessly. At the very least, she couldn't influence Suyu's life. Yeah, I know. Anyway, she's looking for you. Just don't say yes to her. She'll give up soon. My sister's personality isn't suitable for President Su. To be honest, if it weren't for Mr. Chin, I'd think you and President Su would be a good match. Only you can control President Su's temper. That's not it. I just don't want to spoil him. Min smiled. Anyway, you're my idol forever. Okay, let's not talk about it anymore. I'm going to prepare dinner for Rick. Okay. After hanging up, Min let out a long sigh. Everyone had their own difficulties. It wasn't easy for Cece to leave her hometown for love. It wasn't easy for Rick to fight against so many people in his family to protect Cece. At the end of the day, everyone was doing it for love. Just then, his phone beeped. He received a text message. Min looked down and his expression changed slightly. Chapter 2486. Me, it's been too long. I've waited for you for too long. I'm running out of patience. The final game between me and Qin Chu is about to begin. I know you won't stand on my side, but I'll show you what kind of person the man you love is. Then, you'll understand that in this world, only I'll never change my feelings for you. You're crazy, Hua Mian said casually after she finished reading it. She didn't expect Hua Xiqian to be serious this time. In a high-end club owned by Tang Chuan's family, Su Yu and some famous directors came to entertain clients and bumped into Shen Mingxi. Other than Su Yu, Shen Mingxi didn't have a good relationship with the others. Especially after his divorce with Wei Ying, he rarely saw Wei Liao and the others and didn't have any interactions. Lord Su, Shen Mingxi said. Hey, you're here too. Yeah, I'm with some clients next door. It's rare to see you. Do you want to have a drink with me? Sure. Su Yu's clients had just left and he didn't want to go home so early. Ever since Tang Chuan ran to the States, it was hard to find someone to drink with. Su Yu didn't think much of it. Seeing that it was still early, he followed Shen Mingxi into the private room next door. This is my buddy, Su Yu, Shen Mingxi introduced him as soon as they entered the room. Hearing Su Yu's name, the foreign developers all stood up. Some of them were as old as Su Yu's father. But when they saw Su Yu, they all stood up to greet him politely because they knew the Su family was very influential in the city. The old master of the Su family was an iron-blooded general with a high position in Jing City. His only grandson was one of the most powerful people in the city. Young Master Su, I've heard so much about you. Sit down. I'm just here for a few drinks. Don't stand on ceremony. Su Yu waved his hand and gestured for them to sit down. Shen Mingxi called a few innocent college girls to accompany the foreign developers. Then, the two of them sat alone on the side with red wine glasses. Lord Su, you've been keeping a low profile lately. I haven't seen you around. You don't have a nightclub, a club, or a golf course. What's up with you? I thought you were on a business trip. Nope. Recently, I've been working and going home. So monotonous? Shen Mingxi frowned, obviously not buying it. What else do you think I can do? Su Yu pursed his lips. Where's Master Tang? Doesn't he like to stick to you? Don't talk about that guy who values women over friends. He took a fancy to Qin Chu's biological sister and followed her to America. He didn't even want his mother anymore. Who am I to say I am? I've heard a thing or two about Tang Chuan and the daughter of the Qin family. At first, I thought it was just a publicity stunt and the media was making groundless accusations. I didn't expect it to be true. Well, everything has its vanquisher. Qin Chu's sister has subdued him. They're of equal social status. What about you? You don't have a date? Yeah, I'm all alone. I'll get you a girl. Do you like college students, good girls, or hot Russian dolls? I don't like either. Su Yu shook his head. Don't tell me you still like Hua Min, Shen Mingxi suddenly said. I can do whatever I like. It's my right to be in anyone's way, Su Yu said jokingly. Lord Su, I have something to say, but I don't know if I should say it. Since you said so, you must have something to say. Go ahead, let me hear it. Su Yu was in a good mood, so he started to talk about Hua Min with Shen Mingxi. He rarely talked about Hua Min with friends other than Wei Liao and Tang Chuan because he felt it was blasphemy. Chapter 2487. I think Hua Min isn't as good as you think she is. Hearing Shen Mingxi's words, Su Yu's face changed. Go on. He didn't refute immediately. Instead, he calmed himself down and continued to listen. I think this woman is very scheming and scheming. Think about it, she's not from a rich family, but she was able to marry Qin Chu. I have to admit that she has some skills. Plus, did you know that her mother is a mistress? Go on. Su Yu lowered his head and rested his chin on his hand. She dated Qin Chu when she was still in school. When Qin Chu went abroad, she found another boyfriend. To put it bluntly, a woman like her isn't that great. I heard that she was about to marry that guy, but when Qin Chu came back, she immediately dumped that guy. I think his name was Ning Ziyuan. That wasn't all. After she married Qin Chu, she didn't let Qin Chu announce their marriage. She kept their marriage a secret and pretended that she was single. She used some unknown method to rise up the ranks in the hospital and was noticed by the director. She was promoted all the way until she volunteered to work at Southside Recuperation Center. Everyone knows that Southside Recuperation Center is a place for children of the upper echelons of society to recuperate. Everyone knows what she's up to. Then she ran into you when you were injured and hospitalized. Then she tried her best to make you like her, but you refused. That's why you've been secretly in love with her all these years. When Qin Chu got into an accident, she tried to get close to you, but when Qin Chu came back, she immediately kicked you away. I heard that she has an ambiguous relationship with Hua Xiqian. Even though they're not related by blood, they're still siblings in name. After all, they're both members of the Hua family. So, Lord Su, the onlooker sees more clearly than the onlooker. I don't know what you like about a woman like her. Anything else? Su Yu looked up at Shen Mingxi quietly and asked. Shen Mingxi was surprised by Su Yu's reaction, so he paused for a moment before saying, "A few days ago, Hua Xiqian kidnapped Yan Yan's daughter. Hua Xiqian specifically asked to see Hua Min. We went to beg her, but not only did she refuse, she even mocked us. Don't forget, when her daughter was kidnapped, our Yan Yan risked her life to save the twins. Put yourself in her shoes, and you can see a person's heart at a critical moment." "Did she go in the end?" Su Yu asked. "Oh, he did go, but he was very reluctant. He even said that it would be the last time he would help us." "Yes." Su Yu nodded. "So, Lord Su, you said?" Before Shen Mingxi could finish, Su Yu suddenly punched him in the face. The force was so strong that Shen Mingxi fell onto the sofa, and blood came out of his nose. It was obvious how angry Su Yu was. "Lord Su?" Shen Mingxi was dumbfounded. "You don't know why I hit you, right?" Su Yu asked calmly. Shen Mingxi didn't say anything. Su Yu bent down, grabbed Shen Mingxi's collar, and pulled him up. Then, he punched the right side of Shen Mingxi's face again. This time, Shen Mingxi couldn't get up. He only felt dizzy and saw stars before his eyes. "Lord Su, what's going on?" The people around them were no longer in the mood to drink or sing, and they all came over to stop the fight. "Get the fuck out of here. Or else, don't blame me for being ruthless." Su Yu was furious. After he yelled, everyone quietly left the room. Su Yu pulled over a leather chair, sat on it, and looked at Shen Mingxi, who was lying on the floor. "Does it hurt?" Su Yu looked at him coldly and asked. Shen Mingxi hadn't seen Su Yu so angry in a long time, and he was a little scared. Chapter 2488. "Lord Su, you hit me to protect a woman? We've been buddies for so many years." Shen Mingxi felt wronged. Although he had known Su Yu for many years, he wasn't as close as Wei Liao and Tang Chuan. However, it wasn't enough for Su Yu to beat him up. How serious was this? Therefore, other than the shock in his eyes, Shen Mingxi felt wronged. "Very good. You want to talk about buddies with me? Then let me tell you, if it weren't for the fact that we've known each other for so many years, I would have thrown you into the sea to feed the fish after what you said just now. It would have been as simple as punching you twice. I don't understand why that woman is so important to you. Moreover, she's going to be someone else's wife soon." Shen Mingxi didn't know Hua Min very well, so he only saw and heard one-sided things. Naturally, he didn't understand why Su Yu liked Hua Min so much. "Okay, I'll tell you why I hit you today. First, you slandered Hua Min. You don't know her at all. You're just looking at things from a passerby's point of view. Most of what you see is what you hear. What right do you have to judge other people's lives? Second, you just said that you and Hua Yanyan went to Hua Min and asked her to go see Hua Xiqian. Then, you helped Hua Yanyan save her and beat her up, right?" Shen Mingxi didn't dare to say anything else. He just listened quietly. If Qin Chu finds out about this, he'll probably kill you. Su Yu was furious. "You're right. I'm sure he'll hit you." Shen Mingxi still looked at Su Yu in confusion. "Do you know how dangerous that psycho Hua Xiqian is to Hua Min? Even now, Qin Chu still sends people to protect her in secret because he's afraid that Hua Xiqian will attack her. However, you guys shamelessly begged Huamin to help you guys. That woman, Hu Yanyan, even used the fact that she saved Huamin's life so that she couldn't refuse. Do you know how much danger she had to take to see that psycho? Also, since Hu Yanyan likes to talk about saving Huamian, I'll tell you about it. Who was the one who kidnapped Huamian and the twins? It was Hu Yanyan's half-brother, Huamin. Also, if I remember correctly, when the Hua family was in dire straits, Hu Yanyan was bullied by your ex-wife, Wei Ying, a couple of times, and it was Huamin who stood up for her, right? Hua Xiqian was the one who caused Hua Xi's accident. However, knowing Hua Xiqian's style, he would never leave a loose end behind. Why is your precious Hu Yanyan still alive? Do you think it's because Hua Xiqian is kind? Or is it because your Hu Yanyan is the prettiest woman in the world? She's so beautiful that Hua Xiqian can't bear to hurt her? Su Yu's words once again left Shen Mingxi speechless. Let me tell you, Hua Xiqian cares about Hu Yanyan. She's helped Hu Yanyan time and time again, and Hua Xiqian has seen it all. She's been emphasizing that Hu Yanyan has returned to her normal life and that Hua Xiqian shouldn't disturb her. You might not know this, but that psycho guy listens to Huamian the most. After Hua Xi's accident, Huamin has been looking for her. He even prepared a new house and money for her to do something for herself. However, Hu Yanyan disappeared without a trace. She didn't even say goodbye to Huamin. Of course, I don't know how she hooked up with you. I don't care about what you guys do, and I'm not interested in hearing about it. However, you slandered Huamin when you don't even know anything. You even have the audacity to talk about saving the children. Huamin has helped Hu Yanyan so many times, but she never took the initiative to help him. Hu Yanyan only helped him once, and Huamin should be grateful to her? What kind of logic is this? Lord Su, I didn't know that. Shen Mingxi lowered his head guiltily. Of course you didn't know. You're being played by that woman right now. How would you know? Lord Su looked at Shen Mingxi in annoyance. Chapter 2489. Yanyan just wanted to save her child, Shen Mingxi explained. Then let me ask you, why did Hua Xiqian kidnap Hu Yanyan's daughter for no reason? Did he have too much time on his hands? Shen Mingxi remained silent. Why aren't you looking for an excuse this time? If I'm not wrong, Hu Yanyan must have pissed someone off, right? Oh, right, I almost forgot. Hu Yanyan isn't that capable, and the recent negative news about the whole corporation doesn't seem to be Qin Chu's doing either. So, it was you, right? You did something, didn't you? I'm just worried about what Yanyan went through these past few years. You know, if it weren't for Hua Xiqian, would she still be the high and mighty socialite of the Hua family? She wouldn't have ended up marrying a scumbag by mistake and giving birth to a single mother. She only has herself to blame. Speaking of her background, I want to ask you. You keep saying that Huamin's mother was a mistress, but what about Hu Yanyan's mother? Shen Mingxi remained silent. Jiang Hong is the only legal wife in the Hua family, right? Who does Shen Jiani think she is? A mistress that Chairman Hua kept when he was alive? I'm afraid she's the most high-profile mistress on earth, right? Not only did she live in someone else's house without a proper status, but she also gave birth to an adulterer's child. Shen Mingxi's expression darkened when he heard this. Besides, it's her own choice to marry a scumbag. Who's to blame? You keep saying that Huamian doesn't know how to love herself, that she's promiscuous and seductive, but as far as I know, Huamian has only had one man, Qin Chu. She's never had physical contact with another man. Before the Hua family went bankrupt, Hu Yanyan's private life was already rotten. Who knows how many men she slept with and how many children she had aborted. After the Hua family went bankrupt, she was despised and had to marry a scumbag. Shen Mingxi, you're a smart man. How did you fall for Hu Yanyan's tricks? It's bad enough that you were used, but how dare you talk about Huamin's sins in front of me? Let me tell you, Su Yu, didn't live the past 30 years for nothing. When I was in the army, going through life and death training, you were still in school. I'm a good judge of character. I know best what kind of person Huamin is. People like Hu Yanyan are nothing but clowns. She uses her little smarts to commit crimes and pretends to be a lotus flower in front of you. Over the years, not only has her IQ dropped, but her tastes have also become unusually vulgar. Today, I'm telling you that we're no longer brothers. Don't tell me that you're an idiot for a woman. I, Suyu, don't have such a stupid brother like you. After saying this, Suyu opened the door and walked out of the private room. With a loud bang, the door slammed shut. On both sides of the corridor, no one dared to make a sound. They all made way for Suyu. Suyu walked out of the nightclub with a dark expression on his face, but after giving Xianxia a good scolding, he felt a lot better. Suyu took a deep breath. Then he got into his black Lamborghini and sped away. Young Master Xin, are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? After Suyu left, those people only dared to go in and help Xianxia up. No need. No one is to mention what happened today. Otherwise, I won't let you go, Xianxia reminded them. Yes, young Master Xin. Don't worry. We won't say a word. Xianxia didn't expect that Suyu would beat him up so badly that his face was almost disfigured just because he said something bad about Huamin. Should he say that Suyu was impulsive, or should he say that he wasn't careful enough? But Suyu's words did move him a little. Inside a high-end residential area. Mingxi, you're back? Are you hungry? I've made soup. Hua Yanyan walked out of the room in a slightly sexy lavender nightgown. You actually know that Huamin went to beg Hua Xiqian that day. The consequences would be very dangerous, right? Mingxi suddenly asked her. Chapter 2490. Mingxi, why are you asking this all of a sudden? Hua Yanyan's expression was unnatural. Did you already know? It's all in the past. Is it important? Hua Yanyan didn't dare to look him in the eye. I used to think I knew you, but now I find, hee. After being beaten by Suyu, Mingxi seemed to have sobered up a lot. Mingxi, what's wrong with you? Did someone say something to you? Or did Wei Ying start investigating me again? Nothing. Why is there a wound on your face? My God. Did you get into a fight? Hua Yanyan ran up to him in surprise. But before she could touch him, he pushed her away impatiently. After losing Suyu as a buddy, not to mention the benefits, the relationship they had built up over the years would go down the drain. Mingxi didn't know how important Huamin was to Suyu. After Suyu left, he was in a bad mood. He went back to his private mansion and slept until dawn. Then he went to work. At the headquarters, when Qin Chu arrived at the company, he didn't see Assistant Yang, who usually took care of the company. Where's Assistant Yang? Qin Chu walked to the secretary's office and asked. I'm not sure. President Qin. It was almost time to go to work, but Assistant Yang was nowhere to be seen. Go and get Bella. Seeing that it was almost time for the morning meeting, Qin Chu asked the secretary to get Bella. Bella had been Huamin's assistant for a long time, so she had a lot of experience. Without thinking, Qin Chu took the documents and went into the meeting room with Bella. When the meeting ended at 9:30 a.m., Assistant Yang was still nowhere to be seen. Qin Chu had just asked if Assistant Yang was here when his cell phone rang. Did you oversleep? Seeing that it was Assistant Yang calling, Qin Chu picked up and asked. President Qin, I'm Xiao Yang's wife. Qin Chu was slightly startled, but he did not continue to speak. My husband got into a car accident on his way to work this morning. He's still in the hospital now. Our whole family is grieving and we forgot to call the company. I just remembered. I'm sorry, President Qin. Is it serious? Qin Chu was still worried when he heard about his assistant's accident. I'm not sure yet. We also have to wait for the results of the surgery. However, we might not be able to go back in the short term. Okay, I got it. After hanging up the phone, Qin Chu immediately ordered the company's finance department to send the money to Xiao Yang's family to deal with the emergency. Bella, stay here and take over Yang's position for now. Sure, but President Qin, I still have a lot of work on my hands. What should I do? Leave it to someone else. If we don't have enough people, let the HR department recruit a few more. There had been a lot of things going on recently, and Qin Chu was also in a terrible fix. Qin Ning was dating Tang Chuan, but now she had quarreled with her father and refused to return to the company. Sometimes, his second uncle was too busy and often gave him the documents from the headquarters to deal with. Bella could easily take over Assistant Yang's job, but ordinary people could not handle Bella's workload. In the end, the HR department decided to hire an excellent assistant for President Qin. This was a very small matter in a large corporation, but when Qin Chu came to work the next day, he was greeted by a girl named Assistant Yang. His mood dropped when he saw the girl who had just taken over Bella's position. "Good morning, President Qin." The girl looked at Qin Chu with a bright smile. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.